One practical confusion which people have when I'm talking to my customers is they are not very clear about solutions which are based on Copilot for Microsoft 365, for example, and Copilot Studio. There's a world of difference between the two in terms of, but people feel no, both are similar. What is the difference? So can you explain in simple words these two different models which we're talking and why it is so different? Yeah. Shalabh, you want to take this up?
Yeah, I think briefly what you can say is right. Like Copilot Studio is a playground, right, where you can expand and work in a no-code, low-code fashion. The data sources may not necessarily be limited to your, that I would call the Copilot ecosystem overall as a tightly packed container. So Microsoft is taking that data, they are able to govern it for you. You have that data security, in place. But with Copilot Studio, it may not necessarily be the thing because you can add data sources outside of your M365 or your Copilot designated stack as well. Um, with what I have seen, you can even start attaching more than the OpenAI model. I think you can now, from what I read last week, you can even go to Claude and use the Sonnet 3. 4.5, 3.5, and with that it is great because that allows you to experiment. It allows you to have more control over your workflows, the type of actions that you will take. You can define your own instruction. But from a security perspective, do remember that when you are getting more data sources in or you are giving those instructions to the agent, it is not 100% in control of what Microsoft has trained it on, what system prompts we have given, right? You are writing on top of it. Therefore, again, in that shared responsibility model, you slightly move away from a SaaS offering to the left between SaaS and PaaS. And therefore, the risks which are associated are also owned by you because obviously we are not completely controlling that information. We are not 100% defining those actions. So when you do it, please be aware about what you're putting in and take ownership of that risk factor.
Aman, you want to add something to that?
No, I was about to say only one thing, SaaS versus PaaS. So it's basically service and DIY, do it
Absolutely.
yourself.
Yeah, it's very simple. In very simple words for everybody on the call here, when you use Copilot for Microsoft 365, your data, everything is based in Microsoft 365 tenant. There are identities set there, there are boundaries set there. So Microsoft says Copilot will not cross those M365 tenant boundaries. Full stop. But when you move to Copilot Studio, it's a different world. You can actually connect not just the tenant, you can, connect it to anything. You can connect it to Oracle database, you can connect it to your other applications, just about anything. There, Microsoft says, hold on. Don't hold me equally responsible as you were doing for M365 Copilot. Here, the model is changes. So SaaS versus PaaS, a very simple example. Yeah, that's a perfect way to go about it because that's how it will be. So we need to understand Copilot Studio and Copilot for Microsoft 365 are two different animals, and we need to treat these two in very, very differently. Especially when we are looking at Copilot Studio, we should be pretty much on the alert in terms of how I'm going to guard my stuff, right?